watch this. Yeah, let's go back here.
Blind date.
Don't care. All right, so I just watched the whole drizzle bullshit. What's next? Oh yeah.
Now, D here, he only made $65,000 on his first deal, but I even showed Cody Sperber this.
Today's topic is DrakeP3do. Obviously, we'll talk about the beef in general at some point, but I want to talk about this specific.
Because, like, here's my problem with this whole video. It's just like, if he was a predator, it's like, why are we hearing about this now? Why is this becoming public knowledge now and not before? Like, the fuck? Man, like, man really does have too many ops to be sitting
Specifically, because initially Kendrick called him a certified lover boy, certified pedo. And he was talking about his crew, how there's a lot of them who are doing this. And now Drake took 3 days, right? At first, all he did was respond to the fake allegation of the child. And he went, oh, I don't have no kid. If somebody could find them. And then everyone's like, so that's what you respond to, but you don't respond to the kiddo stuff?
But, like, at the same time, it's like, devil's advocate here. Hi. Kendrick never responded to Drake calling him an abuser. Kendrick never responded to Drake calling him an abuser. And Kendrick never responded to being called an abuser or the fact that his kid might not be his and his girl might have cheated on him with his manager or whatever. It's like Kendrick never responded to that.
And then on his latest track, he talked about it. It's so funny to me because I think he thought this reply track was going to be good, but all it did was dig his hole. He said, speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. The Epstein angle was the shit that I expected. Why would you expect that? Oh yeah, the internet don't play. So how about we start the one that he brought up out of nowhere for no reason?
Molly Bobby Brown?
Let's say y'all got a 14-year-old daughter. She talking about a man in his late 20s this way. What y'all think?
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely going to go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
So he out here texting 14-year-olds saying, I miss you so much.
It's the thing I hate about pedos and the internet. People will take anything. I have several friends who are minors. And it's like I talk to them, like they come to me from like mature shit. It's like I talk to them. It's like, sure, out of context, it's weird, but it's like, yeah, no, I do sit here and I do help them and shit like that. Like this, I don't know enough about this. I'm just like, look, again, come with receipts. This is some shit where it's like I will always say this. No, like I will say this. I joked about this the first time I said it. I'm serious about it now. You guys call them the big three. I'll call them the bitch three. J. Cole's a bitch. Drake's a bitch. Kendrick's a bitch. All three of them are bitches. I don't see any of them really. Like, Kendrick won the diss battle in the sense of it's just like, it's a lyrical rapper versus a flow rapper. Lyrical rappers always win, first off. Second off, lyrical rappers always win. It usually, like, there are very few times where lyrical rappers lose. Because diss battle is basically people saying fuck you. And lyrical rappers have a lot of way of saying fuck you. And ways that, like, they'll say fuck you in ways you didn't even comprehend they could say. So, like, yeah, no. Nah. Like, Kendrick was never really going to lose to Drake. First off. Second off, when it comes to Drake, I don't know, man. Like, this whole thing's stupid, in my opinion. Not in my opinion. It's just like, yeah, no. Kendrick, like, who do you think, like, I'm yapping, but like, yeah, no. I don't see any of them winning. I see all three of them as bitches. Because all three of them handle this situation poorly. I don't like it. Kendrick accused shit. Both Kendrick and Drake accuse each other of shit without any receipts. It's just Kendrick accused Drake of a pedophile and constantly brought up the pedophilia stuff, and that's the thing. The internet will react more to pedophilia than it does to domestic abuser. And that's not even me trying to take Drake's side. That's just in general. The internet's really weird when it comes to pedos. It likes pedos a lot more than it wants to admit.
And texting them about.
You call someone a pedo, that shit will stick, even with no evidence. Like if you're in, like if you watch VTubers, if you watch like if you're in the anime world or whatever, it's like you know that. When it comes to people will call someone a pedo, and then people will call someone a pedo, and then that shit will stick. Like that shit will fucking stick. It's just like, and it's like there's no proof, there's no evidence towards it, or it's like the evidence is really like circumstantial.
About dating and boys. Does that sound like professional development? What are you professionally developing her in? Certified lover boy, certified pedo. She's a producer. Little C, she produced for Drake.
Okay, so the Drake thing. You met him, well, when did you first meet him?
So I played basketball, right? So he really was a fan of not a fan, supported one of my teammates at the time. And because
this is when you're in high school?
Yeah, in high school. So he was a fan of women's basketball, high school basketball.
At the time, Drake would have been 29.
He's a big fan of high school women's basketball.
If you say it like that, yeah, it doesn't sound wrong. What Abba is saying is if you're a man in your late whatevers, you can't be fans of no young
That is true, because that's well, actually, let me finish.
Woman things. You can't. It don't look good.
I like that's it. I just like I don't agree with that. Like I'm not saying they're lying. I'm saying like that's the thing about the internet. Again, it's like you call someone a pedophile, no one stops and like looks at receipts, no one tries to get evidence. It's just it sticks. Like you can't show up. Yeah, you can't show up to a game. Like you can't show up to games or events without it being weird. Like it's always gonna be weird. Like it's not even like, oh, there's a local game going on. I was bored. I went and bought tickets because you were selling tickets. I thought I could show up and just watch because I had nothing else better to do. Nah, unless you know somebody, unless like your kid's there or your friend, like family friends, like you're like, it's just weird. It's like, how the fuck is this shit weird? Dude.
No matter how. Hold on. No matter how. If something happened or since something doesn't happen, if someone has something to say, it's just not gonna look good, and that's a fact. It's just not gonna look good.
I'm not saying it don't look good. I'm just saying he likes hanging around teenage girls. That's it. That's it. Now, I remember a time where Michael Jackson couldn't breathe without people calling him a pedo.
It's not the same thing. It was not just the Neverland. It was all the allegations. It was not just the Neverland. It was the allegation of smoking Jesus juice, of drinking Jesus juice and sleeping in the same bed. We're, I believe, a bit miles apart. Now it's just supporting. There was nothing sexual that was said and everything and stuff. I don't want to be someone that defends, but let's stick to the facts here.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let's stick to the facts, right?
Go ahead.
Your daughter's texting, 14-year-old daughter's texting a 29-year-old man dating advice.
Yep.
They talk about they miss each other. The fact is he didn't do nothing that we can prove.
That's great.
What you doing?
What do you mean what you doing?
What you doing about your 14-year-old?
You're 100% right.
Okay.
You have no business.
It's not like I'm doing conjecture about something. There's no world I know of where a 14-year-old is texting a 29-year-old saying, I miss you so much, and texting them about dating advice with boys.
I can understand that. But the same way, if it was a boy, it wouldn't be the same thing. Because
if it's a boy, if it's a 14-year-old boy texting an older woman, all that shit, we aren't even talking about it. We don't. It's like it's not even swept under the rug. It was never there to begin with. We're not
in the eyes of the world, it's not really the same thing.
Listen, sorry, no. If my 14-year-old son is texting a 29-year-old, they talk about each other, I'm thinking something sexual is going on. Absolutely.
I'm mad at you.
Yeah, and I think most parents would at home too. There is no time or place a 14-year-old is texting a 29-year-old woman, I miss you, and someone not thinking it's sexual, and they talking about dating all the time.
I am mad at that.
There's not, it doesn't matter, that's not a gender thing.
I'm mad at that.
Now, you might say we might take one more seriously, sure.
Yeah.
But there's no doubt that we would, there's no doubt that nobody would see that age difference and think that's weird.
Cool.
Okay, all right.
We're good.
Okay, so now we got that. We got him taking a lot of interest.
Just like, I do agree. It's like again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't see that big of a deal because you act like the 29-year-old can do something. Like the 29-year-old's more mature than, like, ignoring gender, just ignoring gender for a second. Like, forget who's what gender, doesn't matter. Could be a straight, could be gay, like like focus on the age for a second. it's like, sure, the 29-year-old's like a lot more mature than the 14-year-old. So that could spiral into something, because it's like, it's a lot. The 29-year-old could easily like manipulate the 14-year-old. I'm not saying don't be afraid, don't be aware. I'm just saying it's like, look, it's like, you got to be aware of the fact it's like, look, you're like, you do understand that like other 14-year-olds can be manipulative. Yeah, other shit could be manipulative. It's like, you can't sit here and act like it's okay when the age, like, you can't sit here and act like, let me say it this way. I agree with that. It's like, yeah, no, it's like, I would think something sexual is going on, but at the same time, it's like, I would go and check out like what's going on. And the moment I see nothing like is sexual or like horrific or like menacing is going on, like once I check and make sure like, oh yeah, the person's fine, then I don't really give a fuck. I want my kid to be safe. At the same time, it's like, at the same time, it's like, what? I would be raising I'm not saying no one else raises their kid properly. I'm just saying I would raise my kid properly. Like, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not saying that to say no one else would. I'm just saying for myself, I would raise my kid properly. Really. So it's like, I would make sure like by the time they hit 7, 8, I'm talking to my kid being like, hey, you gotta start thinking maturely. You gotta start being mature. You gotta start like I'll start giving them responsibility, having them like think more mature and understand that like, I want like my kid will be like, you gotta like, I'll like make sure my kid is very smart and think for themselves, but also like foster a relationship with my kid where it's like, they know they could tell me anything. They know they can tell me anything. Not like, oh, I put like, oh yeah, no, my kid's gonna tell me everything. My kid's gonna tell me everything. No. I'm saying like, I'm gonna foster a relationship with my kid to where it's like, they know they can come up to me and ask me for advice. Even if I think what they're doing is stupid and dumb as hell, they know they can come up to me and I will give them advice, or I'll let them vent or whatever in the sense. So it's like, I'm trying to say in a long-winded form, what I'm trying to say is, I see my kid coming up to me and telling me something's going on if something's going on. I could ask my kid something going on and they'll tell me something's going on. Like, I know that for a fact. Well, not, like, I know that for, like, in the sake of the analogy. But, like, yeah, no, it's like a 29-year-old talking to a 14-year-old, and it's like, I love you, I miss you, and giving them, like, relationship advice, like, it does sound kind of weird.
Interest and here's the thing.
Unless you're related.
I'm gonna say something. It's not just that this dude really follows or he's supportive of high school basketball teams. He starts following these girls. He starts contacting them. What business do you have contacting these young women outside of just being supported at the game? It's not like he was just in the stands. No, he can't do that. But let's keep watching.
Unless you're relatives. But even then, that could be like fishy.
Oh, I wrote Drake would get the WNBA out of debt if it was full of teenagers. Drake would get the WNBA out of debt if it was full of teenagers. And that's a fact. You want to solve it? Put the young girls in and get Drake to be the face of the franchise. And it won't be Drake just like MJ just dunking. It won't be that. It'll just be Drake hiding behind the sheets.
It's not dunking like that. It's dunking like that.
And it's just some 14-year-old pigtails or some shit and a high school uniform. Wild. Anyways.
Imagine that on shoes. Oh shit, is that the new Air Gok Gok?
The Air Pedos? Yeah, the Air Pedos.
I was her teammate, so he followed me because of her. And I was like, oh shit, bitch, you got Drake to follow me? Like, what the hell? Like, that's so crazy.
Oh my God.
He followed me, and I lost it. I'm like, I have to meet Drake. Like, I love Drake. I've always loved Drake, still love Drake. So basically, he followed me. Maybe a year later is when I built up the confidence to like message him on like some working stuff, because I was 18 when I messaged him. And I DM'd him like, hey,
he knows what the fuck he's doing. Why is he following her on Instagram? For what reason? Just to be clear, I'm saying this because this is not just conjecture. I don't care who this is from. Irrespective of the beef, this dude is a straight up weirdo. Certified.
Agree to disagree. Drake is a bit of a weirdo and a dipshit, but it's like, I feel like it's one of those situations where it's more like, I want to see proof. I want receipts. Because again, we live in a day and age where it's like, you can accuse someone of being a pedo and it doesn't matter. That shit, it's like, it doesn't matter. That will stick, and it's there. You can have no evidence whatsoever, but the fact you got labeled with that, that's with you for life. Not really for life, but it's like, it's with you for a bit. So it's like, yeah, no. He's an idiot. He's a dipshit, and he is a bit of a weirdo. Bro, majority of this man's beefs were started over women. Like, that's how weird Drake is. It's like, Drake's a genuine man-child. Drake is a genuine man-child. So it's like, no, he's so weirdo, all right. I'm not sitting here trying to defend him too much. I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's just like, yeah, no, this is weird. He's a weirdo, but it's like, I think it's just like, it just looks weird. Overall.
Replay Poker. As many of you have seen, because I've streamed it before.
Yep, don't care.
Call it like it is.
I like the fact that certified has become the man version of period.
Yeah. He said, I never looked twice at no teenager. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Brown's. I never looked twice at no teenager.
Started when footage from a 2010 Drake concert began circulating the internet. Footage where a 23-year-old Drake invites a girl from the crowd on stage, dances with her, smells footage from a 2010
I never looked twice at no teenager.
Started when footage from a 2010 Drake concert began circulating the internet. Footage where a 23-year-old Drake invites a girl from the crowd on stage, dances with her, smells her hair, massages her shoulders, puts his arms around her, and then starts to kiss her neck. Drake walks away.
It's not looking good, bruv.
17, why do you look like that?
No, why the fuck is the category no teenager?
You dick. Look at all this. Well, listen, 17. I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breast feel against my chest.
I can't even hear what he said. I heard I'm not sure if I'm supposed to feel guilty, but I had fun. I can't hear him that well.
I like the way your breast feel against my chest. Thank you.
No, he is a certified lover boy. He's a weirdo. He acts stupid around girls. That's why I'm saying he's a boy. He's not a man. He acts stupid around girls. That's why majority of this nigga's beefs is because of women. That's why majority of this nigga's beefs is because of women. It's not even like, oh, like, no, his beef with Kendrick is because of just like, again, he's immature. Drake is like Drake's immature. Drake's immature. End of conversation. This nigga's immature. I remember watching a lot of people's reactions. Some people were just like, bro, why are you bringing up Millie Bobby Brown? No one brought her up. It's like, he's like, nah. He's using her as an example, but okay.
It is a sickness of the highest order. It is deviant, therefore we don't want it.
You know what I think is funny?
Papaya. This one is lost, my friend. He has done it on camera.
You know what I like about this shit is that you're the Ugandan Shazam. The minute I say "Stanga for life," and then boom, you turn it into this.
And you guys remember one of his associates, Little Baca, was referenced a few times in Kendrick's song, saying he's a predator or whatever.
The same year, Drake would post on Instagram, celebrating the release of Baca Not Nice, a rapper, friend, and member of Drake's record label, OVO, following a stint in jail for allegedly forcing a 22-year-old woman into prostitution, a weapons charge, and human trafficking. The now deleted post read something something in the air today. A lot of good things happening at once, but this one means the most. Been waiting 11 months. Baca finally home.
I just wonder if he was also banging his girl while he was in jail.
Wow.
Remember when he said that shit about Wayne?
Reference to Wayne, yeah.
You know that happened, right?
And
Wayne confirmed it. Yeah, so just to be clear, people saying, oh, Kendrick just spread rumors. No, a lot of what Kendrick said is actually verifiable and provable. He did smash Wayne's girl while he was in jail.
Well, he wasn't there.
A year later, in May of 2016, 29-year-old Drake was spotted eating dinner with 18-year-old Hailey Bieber in West Hollywood. Due to their allegedly flirty interaction and Drake wearing a matching H necklace, rumors of them dating began circulating, with Entertainment Tonight even alleging that the two hooked up at Drake's Memorial Day party. However, during this time, Hailey did an interview with E! News, revealing that she'd known Drake for around 4 years at this point, meaning that a 25-year-old Drake first met Hailey when she was just 14.
Another 14-year-old? Another 14-year-old? You going on dinner dates with her when she hit 18 in public? Another 14-year-old? How many more y'all need? Let's keep watching.
Good, you got more?
A now 32-year-old Drake released a song titled Nice for What, featuring the line, "High school pics, you was even bad then." 3 months later, on July 22nd,
I'm sorry, bro. That's crazy.
It just don't fit well.
No, that dude is a little twisted monster.
Later that month, Drake would release a song titled Jaded, featuring the line, "We coulda waited. I wasn't Russian. Differences in ages. You're old enough, but you're still a baby."
Self-snitching. Just to reference, you're saying that no parents would let their daughter, they would think it's weird. She said like, oh, okay, I guess it's real, and kept on driving. So just to go back on what you were saying that no parents would have let that shit happen. She did. She was driving and they were chatting in the back, and she said, oh, I guess this is weird.
What I said was very different. I said no parent would let their daughter talk to a 29-year-old man. What I didn't add to that caveat is if they're famous, because famous people let their kids do weird shit.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's a whole different thing.
Cool.
But to be clear, this is weird behavior irrespective of anyone. But I'm saying the kinds of people who put their kids in famous situations let their kids do a lot of weird, freaky shit.
That's why when you said that, I believe my face was kind of weird. I went,
yeah,
because of that, the famous people.
Over the years, there's a lot of pictures of Drake wrapped around girls who are 18, 17. Do I think he's hit? Yes, I do. Listen, you got no business talking no goddamn teenager. Even if you did, you know better. You should know your managers and everybody around tell you, but they probably not because you just into it that much. So all the stuff Kendrick was saying, it ain't lies. It ain't lies. And there's too many of these instances of this guy talking. You know what I've never thought in all my years as a 30-year-old? Can I please talk to a teenager for extended periods of time?
Can I please talk?
The literal, one of my life goals is finding ways to talk to them as little as possible. Okay? There is no time in my day that I'm like, man, I need a teenager around.
I mean, let's be honest, teenagers are annoying to deal with. Let's be honest.
You texting a teenager, I miss you so much?
Yeah. Drake! I'm on the side of, I mean, I got a little bit of autism in me, so I don't miss nobody. You know what I mean? That cannot be me.
It's not like he's a teacher. It's not like he's risk youth outreach or whatever. There's no reason to be talking to these people.
Again, I keep on saying this again. It's just like Drake's Drake's a man child. He's a grown man that acts like a boy. He acts stupid around women. That's why he's certified lover boy, because he's just he acts stupid around women. Like, seriously. It's just that's what my whole issue is about this beef. It's like, this shit's been going on for years. Why are we just now hearing about this? You've been sneak dissing this man forever. Why are you just now saying shit about this? I've never heard it. I mean, I don't listen to those two like that. I don't really pay attention to sneak. I don't pay attention to either of them like that. But it's still just that's just my issue with this. It's you knew this for a while. You never called him out until now. How many times did Kendrick sneak this? Did he ever bring up the fact he was a pedo then? So why am I hearing about this now? Why am I supposed to act like this is oh my God, he won? It's no. What you do and don't say speaks volumes. And it's why did you take so long to say it now?
And listen, a lot of onus should be on the parents who allow for these kinds of listen. But like I said, people in rich or famous areas, they operate in weird ways. You know what I mean? Some of them stop parenting and leave the managers in charge of everything.
Oh, yeah. The weird thing they would do for the advancement of their kids, the weird shit that they would do.
Yep.
Some of these parents, whether it's in dance or acting, whatever, Some of y'all parents are pimps.
Oh yeah, no.
And you're pimping the dreams that you had
Yeah.
through your kids.
Yep.
Some of y'all are pimps. Let's be honest with each other.
It's not even pimping. It's like you're living vicariously through your kids. It's not even pimping. You are living vicariously through your child. You're trying to get your child to do you're getting your child to live up to the dreams that you never got a chance to live up to because of some injury or because of like your lifestyle or whatever. It's like, yeah, no, that's the whole, like, that's what happened with Miranda Cosgrove. Not Miranda Cosgrove, no, Jeanette, I was about to say Jennifer, and that's why I could, because like Jennifer McCourty is not her name, but Jeanette McCourty. That's what happened to her. Her mom was like living vicariously through her and forcing her to be an actor, forcing her to do all these things. Because in reality, her mom was pissed off. I found it crazy, like her mom was like pissed off with and had resentment towards why she couldn't do the things that her daughter's doing and the opportunities her daughter had. She was like vengeful or whatever. But it's like, yeah, no, it's like that's the whole point of like the whole behind the scenes. Not behind the scenes. That's the whole point of Quiet on the Set. It's like a lot of parents were just letting their kids do these things. Like that's why you always have these child stars fall apart. That's why you have like Justin Bieber, he had his whole little blow up phase. You had Miley Cyrus, she had her whole little blow up phase. It's like Bella Thorne, like she had her little blow up phase. It's like you have a lot of kids that don't have good parents. And they're either letting the manager be the parent or you're having the kid raise themselves, and then you wonder why they're ending up in that position, the situation that they're in.
The way you guys are operating, but it's good for you. It's good. You're just thinking about the career.
Yeah. And people say, "Oh, Kendrick just make it." Listen, some of the people that are in OVO are criminals. That's a fact.
What'd you say?
But that's the thing. He's gonna make the OVO joke. I know he is. But that's the thing. It's like some of the people in OVO are criminals. But bro, it's rap. Most of the people in all rap sense are criminals. J. Cole's been arrested. Kendrick's a criminal. I think he went to jail. Lil Wayne went to jail. Jay-Z went to jail. 50 Cent. Like they've all I don't think Jay-Z's been to jail. Like they've all been to jail.
OVO.
You said it like that.
Now step this way, step this way, step. So I'll talk about the rap beef at a different date, but I just want to talk about this portion specifically because I think it's telling that people think this is just rap. No. Okay? Where there's smoke, there's absolutely fire with this one, and this one's a whole bonfire.
I think it's
in the middle of the woods.
I think it's a rap battle. It's not a beef, but whatever.
Yeah, no.
That's a beef. When you're bringing up allegations.
I can understand that, but I think it's still a rap battle. Rap battles been vicious, been known to be vicious, exposing motherfuckers. If you go to rap battles, they go through lengths to expose a motherfucker. The beef thing,
That's why I'm just like, I don't care that much about this. I'll say I grew up on battle rap like that, but it's like, dog, I've watched enough to know half of this shit's some bullshit. Half of what these motherfuckers are saying is not that deep. It's bullshit that either can be like some of it's obvious, but it's like, here's the thing. If it was as obvious as you think it is, this motherfucker would have been caught years ago. You constantly have Drake being caught. Like, you constantly have Drake being caught doing like weird pedo shit. Well, why hasn't he been thrown in jail yet? Why hasn't there been a crime yet? Why hasn't there been a charge yet? I will always agree on Drake with this. He's too big to be doing this. Not saying doing it, because like that's the thing. P. Diddy did what he did, but that's because he had leverage over motherfuckers, and he could ruin your career if you went against him. Same thing with what's his face? Epstein and Weinstein. They both had leverage over people. So the people who knew something couldn't go and tell other people because it's like Harstein's Weinstein, he's Hollywood. So it's like, again, you speak up against someone who's big in Hollywood, bro, your entire career is basically done in that moment. Your entire career is done. You lose your job, you lose everything. Hey, the people who you called friends are no longer your friends. They don't even want to talk to you. And it's just like, insane. And Epstein's just like, he's like, like, Drake has too many ops because he keeps on causing problems for himself. He has too many ops, so it's like, this isn't that big of a deal. This is one of those things that sounds very killer on a rap battle, sounds very killer on a rap track, but it's not that big at the end of the day. This is some bullshit.
I know from a beef is people dying, people shooting up, and I don't think they're gonna come to that way.
What about if they go into jail? What happened to Diddy? It took one court case from Cassie, and now his ass is looking at jail
That was
time.
not a beef. That was not a. That was not.
No,
a
but my whole point is the difference between rap battles and this shit is because of how mainstream this is, and Kendrick know what he doing when he bringing this shit up. You don't think law enforcement might start looking at this shit?
Sure.
Okay, I'm just saying. Does that not go to a beef status if he going to jail potentially? I'm just asking the question.
No.
No?
No.
So jail is not beef for you.
No.
Just murder.
Yeah.
Or attacking someone physically.
Yeah. That's beef.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If that's beef, then I'd rather have beef than whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, boy. Come find me and catch a fade one. Yeah, catch a fair one. I would much rather that than be facing 20 years because you exposed to my secrets.
Hey, don't do secrets.
I'm just saying, but hey, maybe
I would just say this isn't even secrets. This shit's out in the open. Like I agree with Preach more, but like I wouldn't say this isn't beef. Like no, this is beef. This is beef, but this is a diss track. These are rap battles. It's like they're gonna say shit that's been settled. They're gonna say shit that isn't that big. They're gonna bring up shit that's like, it's like if this is as big as you think it is, this person would have went to jail for already, or better yet, why the fuck is your ass knowing about this shit? And you kept, again, that's my biggest problem with this whole Kendrick Drake shit. It's like, if you knew this man was out here diddling kids, why didn't you go to the police? Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, you a real gangster, you a real G, you ain't gonna tell on somebody, right? Right? You want to keep that to yourself, right? Right? Yeah, no, go fuck yourself.
y'all feel different.
Don't do secrets
I get what
then.
Preacher's saying.
Don't do secrets then.
This?
If you're supposed to go to jail, you're supposed to go to jail.
This?
If it was over a beef, too bad. On top of that, you self-snitch in songs.
Yeah,
So, I'm not saying,
You can't
it's
even
not
mad at
something that I went, excuse me, Mr. Prosecutor, this is what no. It's like, go look at that song and look into it.
Bro.
That's what he did.
Bro.
That's what he did.
It's my fault that you got pictures of you holding on to ladies like, and they 17. That,
Hey, why does it look like a penis though? Why does it look like he holding on to a penis?
Nobody snitching on you.
So it's a rap battle.
That's you.
To me, it's not a beef.
You should never be holding a 14-year-old like this.
I've heard more vicious shit in rap battles than this.
Yeah.
Yes. This is not that big of a deal. This is
Vicious stuff.
Yo,
Yeah.
Drake is definitely into young ones. And anyone who's telling themselves otherwise, I want y'all to explain all them conversations you be having with 14-year-olds. Go ahead, and I'll wait. I'll wait. I want you guys to give me the reasons why a 30-year-old is out here going on dates and hanging out and texting about dating and boys with 14-year-olds. And I'll tell you what it is. You ready for the word? This is actually one of the few times you can use it. Preach, drum roll. Grooming.
The word is grooming?
This is actually grooming.
You think
this is actually grooming? Think about what's happening. He meets them when they're 14, talks to them about dating. So he's inserting himself, okay? And then once they hit 18, they're going on dates and they hugging up and shit. I've never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm too famous for the shit you just suggested. How many super famous guys have been caught with underage people and been doing it for a long time?
Nobody.
How?
This is the thing. I hate that rebuttal. That's not a good rebuttal because you're failing to understand the fact. It's like, look, again, again, Epstein's not even child stuff. No, Epstein is. So Weinstein, what Weinstein, Epstein, and what R. Kelly were doing. Not even R. Kelly. Like, let's ignore R. Kelly. Let's just talk about P. Diddy. It's like there are three situations. It's like the reason why we found out about it now is because they had leverage over people. These people could have always, and I do mean always, been they had leverage over people. So it's like people couldn't speak out. But now it's just.
How long did R. Kelly operate, even though this man was hanging outside high schools waiting to pick up high schoolers?
A couple of months, tops.
What a dumbass saying, I'm too famous. Do you know how many famous dudes get away with diddling
I'm kind of done.
Young kids all the time? Is Drake a predator?
I don't know, man.
I feel like that's what everyone's talking about.
Is Kendrick beating his wife?
I don't think people are talking about that. Are they? I think that was briefly mentioned, and everyone's back to Drake like, does he have an 11-year-old? Some big questions being raised. And it's interesting to me because it feels like rap beats today are so different in that regards. It ain't even about the bars half the time now. It feels like who's got the dirt, who got the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what can be proven.
And you know what?
Think of like his previous beef. Think about Drake versus Pusha T.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember half the bars?
I don't remember.
I don't think a person can name a single bar on the top of their head for most people at home.
I remember one thing. Drake! The one that tried to hide the kids from the world, but the world would hide. That's where the kid came from.
Him hiding the kid. Also the blackface. Because the cover art.
My name is Lucy, and I have to figure out who I am.
Yeah.
Cover art of these rap beats is really important, apparently.
Yes, because that's what you... Think about this. Think about this. Coconuts in Barbados.
Coconuts in Barbados.
But think about this. The way that you consume music now is by streaming. So if you're in your car, or even if you listen to satellite radio, what's gonna come up is the cover art.
True.
And I listen to satellite radio, and they've been playing all the tracks of the Beast.
Yeah.
And what comes up?
The cover art.
The cover art.
Yeah.
So what you see, the cover art is actually more important than a video clip, because even when you stream from your
you
phone,
don't see the video clip.
You don't see the video clip, but boom, what's gonna pop up?
True.
The cover art.
True.
So I understand.
I'm a bit behind the times. I still go on YouTube and click the thing where I download the MP3. So I'm like, I'm stupid. So I don't know nothing about streaming. I don't have Spotify. I don't have iTunes.
You download the MP3?
I have a folder with every MP3 I've collected for the last 16 years. I have files as old as 2017. You understand?
What's wrong?
It is kind of cool, to be honest with you.
What are you?
I'm a dinosaur, bro. So it's kind of cool because I go by date modified, and I can literally see how my playlist evolved. When house was introduced, when salsa was introduced,
true.
when I went back to some of my old R&B albums.
You could put them by dates, and then you see that.
It feels cool. It's a history.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I'm
But you
not
can
gonna
no
lie,
longer call me
streaming
that.
folks will never. The same way I won't be able to understand how they constantly discover new music because they're recommended playlists through algorithms.
Yeah.
They won't be able to understand what it's like to like browse a SoundCloud DJ and then have to go through his whole discography to find a single track. Like so it's just different experience. But it doesn't matter.
But you can no longer call me a dinosaur, though. You surpassed me in that sense.
Hey, listen,
My guy.
I got prehistoric habits.
Yes.
You a relic.
Fair.
Okay. But I got habits.
Fair. You know what? I'll take it.
I'll take it.
You are relic.
But you look younger than me. So we'll take
Do
it.
I?
No.
I think we look the same age. It's just I look younger.
Reach looks younger.
But if you look closer, you see the white hair.
Yeah.
You see the what I mean?
I don't see it, and I'm right beside you.
Oh.
We'll get back to you guys. If you guys
Are you close?